Okay, now we're going to want to go ahead and open up Sapien. So we'll double click on that icon there, and the open dialog box appears. We want to open the splinter.scenario tag, so just navigate to your Splinter folder under Halo CE, Tags, Levels, and Splinter. And we'll open up that Splinter scenario. It'll take just a second here because it's loading up all the resources required to actually play Halo. Okay, and we'll just arrange our windows here. Alright, in your game window, if you select the middle mouse button, click and hold that, you can actually look around the level. But you'll notice we have the sky, but we don't have the level yet. That's because we need to run Radiosity. So we will hit Control tilde while the game window is selected, and the tilde is right next to your #1 key on most keyboards. That'll bring up our Halo command prompt. We're going to run Radiosity _quality space 0. Now, quality of a 0 is just for testing purposes. It'll run a real quick Radiosity over the entire level. If you're actually going to be releasing this game to the public, the final version, you want to do a Radiosity quality of 1. So again, the command is Radiosity _quality space 0, and we'll hit enter. And now we'll hit arrow up to bring up our last command, and we're going to want to type in Radiosity _start and hit enter. And you'll notice there are 3 numbers up in the upper left hand corner that begin counting down. That's just it's calculating the Radiosity right now. So we will speed this up for you because it does take a little while. Okay, and once all numbers reach 0, we're going to want to bring up the Halo command prompt again. So we'll go Control tilde and type in Radiosity _save, and this will save our Radiosity settings. You hit enter, and now you can see our ground level that we have created here. To control the game window, you would click and hold the middle mouse button. W moves you forward, S moves you backwards, A is a strafe left, D is a strafe right. To fly down or fly up, you would, while continuing to hold the middle mouse button, you would hit the R button to fly up and the F button to fly down. To speed up the camera, you would hit the Shift key. And you can see we have the level created here. And now we do want to populate this level, and we'll want to select the player starting points. So we'll go under Hierarchy View, open up Missions, and select Player Starting Points. And we want to put a new starting point, and we do this by simply going into the game window and placing a starting point there. You can grab a hold of the teal cursor and move the starting point around to be facing the direction you want. If you don't want the starting point to be here, you want to move it, you would select the gray box that makes up the starting point, and you can move that around as well. Okay, and our team index for this is 0, and we need to create another one here. We'll rotate him, and for the purposes of this tutorial we'll only create 4 starting points, 2 for the red and 2 for the blue, since this is a smaller level. And we'll place a starting point there, and we'll give him a team index of 1. Place a starting point there, and you'll notice it did default as 1 because that's the last one we placed. Now we want these to be effective for all games, so with one of the starting points selected, we go down to type 0 in our properties palette and select all games. And do that for each starting point you selected. Okay, now we want to lay down some vehicles for this level. So under the hierarchy view window, we'll go from missions to objects to units and vehicles. You'll notice under the window to the right of hierarchy view for the name, there's nothing there. We actually need to add some vehicles. So with the vehicles folder selected, we will click on edit types. It'll bring up a new dialog box. We want to make sure that the object class is under vehicle, and we want to add a vehicle, so we'll select add. And you're going to want to navigate to your tags root directory and go to vehicles, and from here you can select one of the vehicles. In this case we want to add a ghost, and we want to add a warthog. So we'll select both of those. We'll click done. They will show up in our dialog box. We'll click OK, and we'll want to lay these down. We'll put one right there. You'll notice that nothing was assigned to it, so we want to assign a ghost to this one. We'll rotate it so it's facing the right direction. And we want it to be the default vehicle for Slayer, Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, and Oddball. And we want it allowed for each one of those games as well. And we'll keep this team index of 0. We'll lay down a second one here, rotate it the direction we want facing, and we'll actually change it to a warthog under the properties palette. And now we want to select the same for the other team. So we'll place a warthog there, give it a team index of 1, place a warthog there, and give it a change the properties to be a ghost, and the team index should be 1 on that as well. Okay, now that that's completed, we actually want to place down some scenery, so we'll select the scenery tab, go to edit types, make sure the object class is scenery, and click add. And now you can go ahead and go through and select what type of scenery you want in the level. Okay, and then once you have selected the scenery you want, click OK. And you lay this down just like you had laid down the vehicles by right-clicking somewhere in the level, and then changing the type under the properties to whatever you'd like. Okay, and once you're satisfied with that, at this point we're going to go ahead and save it. Okay, and now we actually want to add the beacons that distinguish each base from each base. So under the scenery tabs, we'll go to edit types. We'll select add. Go to your scenery root directory. We'll go to blue landing beacon. And we'll go to landing beacon. We'll want to place a landing beacon on the first base. And place one on the second. And at this point, we will call this level completed. So we will go ahead and save the scenario now.